This podcast may contain offensive content. You have been warned. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Diecast Podcast. I am your host and DM, Johnny, and today we are bringing you a brand new show, Tales from Trollskull Alley. This is a new show that we've been working on with Steph and Miles, and essentially think of Trollskull Manor being the new hub for adventurers that this new company has started up and is handing out quests and missions and jobs to anyone seeking to make a name for themselves, make some coin in Waterdeep. So it's a brand new format. We're going to be trying out some new things, and I hope you enjoy the show. When we finish up with Tales from Trollskull, we'll be jumping right into the 7th season of the Diecast Podcast, and we hope you enjoy the stories we tell along the way. So, brand new show, brand new format. We're going to be trying some new things. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for sticking with us all the way through this. We hope you are safe. We hope you are well. And we hope you're still getting a chance to relax and enjoy yourself as we go through this pandemic together. So, without further ado, new characters, new cast, new stories, and new adventures. I hope you enjoy it. We had a lot of fun making it. So here we go. Tales from Trollskull Alley. Let the adventures begin. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Diecast Podcast special episode, Tales from Trollskull. This is going to be a little intercedent series of episodes that go sprinkled out throughout the main season of adventurers finding their own way in Waterdeep. And so we have a brand new group working out of Trollskull Manor, and we'll just go around the table, or I guess our virtual screen right now, to introduce each other. You can say as much or as little about your character or yourself as you want. So let's start with the person who actually threw all this together. Steph, who are you and what are you playing?
Hello. So I'm super excited. This is only my second D&D character I've ever created, and the second on this show too. So I am going to be playing Una. She is a barbarian. She's a mercenary for hire and has left home. Like, she's gone far, 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 far away from home to try and pursue a career as a bard. So if she fails, no one back home will know. So she's come to Waterdeep. She's given it all she's got. And so far, it's not going well because she's very bad at it. So she's a mercenary and doing her thing, but dreams of that bard life.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Leslie, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I am Leslie. I am playing Elsbeth Flintforge, who is a half-elf bard who was raised by dwarves, actually. So she doesn't speak Elvish, she speaks Dwarvish. And she lived a fairly sheltered sort of small life, and she's finally sort of gotten out from under her small town and come to the big city to sort of live her own adventure. She sort of lived vicariously through all the songs and stories and travelers who came through her village. And now she's ready to kind of start her own adventure. So she's super excited and super enthusiastic and more than a little naive.
Nice. All right. Next on our adventure is Saffron. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Saffron. I am playing Liza Salazar, the pirate and human cleric. She's also a mercenary. She's trying to make a bit of coin so that she can start her own crew and buy her own ship.
And I can already know that I have to come up with an NPC nemesis for you just so they can yell it, Salazar! All right, going across my screen on the bottom left is Whitney. Welcome, Whitney. Who are you and who are you?
Hi, I'm Whitney. I'm a cartoonist by day, a D&D player by evening. I'm playing Daisy Evergreen, who is an albino Firbolg ranger. I think she's kind of like a winter type Firbolg. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Nice, nice. And to round out our troop of compatriots is in my own bottom right part of the screen is Mackenzie. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I'm an actor and a bartender, so I'm doing a whole lot of nothing right now. So I will be playing Mari Wiseacre. She is a halfling rogue with a criminal background. Her family is from Vineshade in the Purple Hills. I did a lot of research. This is an actual place on the map in Faerun. I did a whole lot of research for this. Nice. So she's from a winemaking town and a winemaking family. And they sent her up the Sword Coast to sell their wares and sell their new wine, but she had a little more fun digging into the pockets along the way and wound up in Waterdeep and is now working in a bar in Waterdeep because the pockets are even deeper in the city.
Ooh. Would you say water? No, that's a terrible pun. Never mind.
No, you have to say it now.
She made it. She made the joke.
It's like Waterdeepian pockets? No. That biplane was going down. All right. So 1496 Waterdeep. You find yourselves in the springtime. The air is still a little crisp, a little cool, but the sun stays out a lot longer in the days. The snow is melted off the streets, and it has that post-melt of just grit and grime and sand and silts on the cobblestones. And you found yourselves together with a rather surprising large group of adventurers looking for work. And you've heard of this place called Trollskull Manor up in the north end of Waterdeep, where they've created a new kind of adventuring hub where if you're just starting out and you need to go somewhere and find a job, find adventure, find some fame and fortune, they'll hook you up. You find yourselves with a group of friends and you've loosely conglomerated into an adventuring party as you go for your first meeting at Trollskull Manor, which has been... It's got a notorious reputation, as it were. A couple of celebrations, a couple of explosions. There may or may not be a cult operating out of there. No one's quite sure. It's always vague on purpose for legality reasons. And you find yourselves in Trollskull Manor, which is a nice old-time type of inn or manor. Creaky wood floors. The tables and benches and chairs are all... items that have probably been there since the manor was first built, and you sit down and you've got like that nice sullen creak of wood below you, and it's actually fairly full inside the inn. They actually have cordoned off part of the establishment to specifically deal with adventurers, and you find yourself sitting on a series of desk chairs that have been lined up in rows and columns to be a very square and It's kind of like if you were a teaching assistant or on your first orientation class. It's a very low-key minor setup as the rest of the bustle of the inn happens behind you. You do notice occasionally plates and glasses will just float on their own, and the smells out of the kitchen it smells like it's a good early lunch, late breakfast type of deal where you smell sticky buns and fruit and bacon and eggs and various other baked goods just come flying out, and it sounds like a busy kitchen too as the pots and pans clank about. And from around this post inside Trollskull Manor, and you're 90% sure she's been standing there the entire time to make a dramatic entrance, is you see this woman with this long pencil long pencil skirt in these black and white Beetlejuicean vertical stripes, and this big plateau of hair that comes out almost like a bike. Someone took a block of cheese and just cut it into a rectangle shape where it starts off gray, blonde, and then black in towards the middle. As she comes walking out with a clipboard, very sure of her steps. As she's got these long, magnificent black gloves and kind of this makeup white, this pancake foundation of a face. And she says, "Oh, hello, my darlings, my adventurers for the first time. I am glad you are all here. My name is Marley Thornstress, and I am your Adventures Liaison Officer for the Trollskull Manor. And I am here to formally welcome you here with me. So, you've all come here seeking adventure, and good for you. It is good to be out there in the world and experiencing yourselves and the world around it. And you may be wondering, what is a liaison officer? Well, I am the one who communicates your needs with the needs of the manor. And then I will set things up for you with jobs, with items, with basic supplies. There is a great benefit to operating out of Trollskull Manor. We will supply you with your camping and survival goods, basics of the weapons, and because you are a first-time adventuring group with us, and she hands out 2 glass vials, like a reddish liquid in it, and like a nice brown paper envelope underneath it. It says, and these are 2 healing potions for your group, and a coupon in the dining room for a free side order with any meal you purchase.
Nice.
Brilliant.
Is it 2 healing potions per person
Just
or for? Okay.
Wow.
So generous.
So, I have been going over the files of everybody involved, and I must say, I am impressed with all of you. You have come so far to make it to lovely old Waterdeep. I have a job that I think specifically will work out for the best of everyone in your skill set. And as I like to say, play the field, but lean into your specialties. So I will be literally sending you out into a field of your specialties. Well, I exaggerate. It's more like a forest, but there's fields involved. It's silly. Don't worry about it. But the job is, there is a logging town up in the north called Harker's Falls. And they seem to have a bit of a gnoll problem. They're a long establishment of logging and lumber that comes out of there. A lot of Waterdeep. In fact, I'm pretty sure some of the timber in here has come from Harker's Falls. But they've been having problem with the gnolls, and I guess there's some type of demon summoning or something like that they've been doing. And they need you just to ferret them out and get rid of them so they stop interfering with the operations. So, it's very simple. Head on up to Harker's Fall. It's northwest, and anyone with a survival check. Give me a survival roll, please.
Like proficiency or?
Just the skill, like natural 20.
I was gonna say I only have 1, so I didn't think that would pan out.
Mackenzie, you're like right. Or sorry, not Mackenzie. I was looking at the wrong name. Mari, you're like, oh, that way, and then you see Una just grab your hand and move it the exact opposite direction.
That way.
Northwest is that way. She says, it's very simple. The Jarl of the town, or the mayor of the town, or the captain, whatever you want to call him, his name is Josh Hackett. It's not exactly an electoral system. They kind of just have a council of people, and he's just the most, I guess, presentable one. So there's no time frame. Take your time, but don't take too long. But, don't feel pressure, but don't take too long. And if you have any questions, we will be here to supply you up as best you need. We have a special contract with Garrett's Outrigging. They will supply, if you don't mind some garish advertising on the side of your tents or equipment or anything like that, then we will take care of whatever you need. But until you head out, please, you have access to the rooms, you have access to the facilities, and if you need any information gathering resources, then we are here to help. Are there any questions you have for me? She kind of cups up her clipboard against herself before we begin, and has this very optimistic smile on her face.
Oh.
Yes.
The coupon, is that one use only, or is it every time we order a meal we get a free side?
It is one use only for any meal, with a caveat of over 20 silver worth purchased of food. They were very specific about the details on that.
Okay, and speaking of money, how much is this job gonna pay?
Well,
Wait, it pays money.
Oh, yes,
my
yes.
goodness.
So we have a contract fee with the town. They've already paid us to sanction out this job. Whatever they pay you on top of that, you get to keep. We've already been paid. You just have to do the job.
Oh.
And whatever they pay you on top of that, that's yours to keep.
And if we find anything while we're out there?
Well, I mean, sharing with friends is wonderful, but feel no obligation to share anything that you find. Whatever you find and keep on your ventures is yours to earn.
Good to know.
I slam my tankard of ale on the table and I say, "All right, well, let's follow her then." And I point at Una. She seems to know where she's going.
That's fine with me. I got lost on the way here. This is a big city.
Okay, so wait, do we have all of our camping gear already, or do we have to go to?
It's understood that
What's
you
it
have
called?
like your starting gear kits or your starting gear kits with you. So if you need anything extra that you can think of, now's the great time to ask it. If you want to like ask questions about where you're going, bars and inns are always great places as well.
Well, I mean, I'm good to go. I've got everything I need, so if you guys want to head out, let's do it.
The sooner we get out of the city, the better, honestly.
Has anybody ever fought a gnoll before? Or even seen one?
I say, and you see Marley go like, well, Waterdeep is a very diverse and inclusive city, so you've probably seen some gnolls, goblins, minotaurs walking about the city. I would like to remind you of our racism policies, that no one is truly born evil. Everyone comes from a different type of background and upbringing. So there are gnolls inside the city. If you can talk with one or talk their language, maybe you can learn something about them. But again, one gnoll does not represent the whole spectrum of gnoll.
The whole of Knoll.
The whole of Knoll. Just for those who don't, a Knoll is essentially like a hyena person, like a humanoid, kind of like got that hunched neck and like the furry mane at the top.
Yeah.
It's like a humanoid hyena, not like a hyena. Okay.
Yeah.
But these
two
gnolls
hands.
at Harker's Falls are naughty gnolls. Yes?
Correct.
Or so
Wicked, naughty gnolls. Right.
Naughty Knolls.
And they are causing problems for the loggers. I will advise it is springtime, so tick season is in full effect.
Me ankles.
Wear some protection. If there's anything that I know is that having a bloodsucker latched onto you for a long time is not good. I was married on and off to a vampire for 5 years, and let me tell you, the lack of garlic bread was awful.
That's a shame. No garlic bread?
Let that be a life lesson. If anyone asks you to choose between your partner and cheesy garlic bread, you take those carbs. You eat them up, num, 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 num.
Always.
Relationships come and go. Garlic bread is forever.
On that,
Well,
we
then
can agree.
I know what I'm using my free side then.
Say, well, we can set you up with a lunch before you go. Other than that, when you've done your task, come on back, let us know, and we will send out correspondence to confirm and lock down everything and possibly issue any bonuses that you lucky little adventurers may occur along the way. But if you have
I like the sound of that.
if you have no further questions from me, I will be on my way. I will be just over there to answer any questions you may have. And, of course, the inn is yours for your disposal.
All right.
As she kind of like paces away, kind of like that self-confidence of an orientation well done. So you find yourselves in a small little offshoot of Trollskull Manor. The Bayside window is kind of letting the light in. The Trollskull Alley is kind of actually sees a lot of foot traffic going by in the background. You can see a small group of people wearing kind of like these like gray with like yellow highlighted robes. They're all chanting, "Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is ahead." Kind of handing out pamphlets to everybody.
Well, that's accurate.
I was going to say
with these guys?
Wait, is this the cult?
Lady, what's up with these people? Do these people need to be exterminated?
What? Oh, no. Pay them no mind. Just they're not allowed inside the restaurant or the manor at the time. They have their own personal reflection time later at night. I personally would recommend you vacate the building when that happens. There is a splash zone, so I would advise to avoid that.
Feel like that raises more questions, but I don't know. I don't really care. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm eager to go, but it's up to you, so I'll follow you.
Has everybody got boots?
Yes. Stompy little boots.
Boots are going to be important
Yeah.
for keeping them ticks off.
Keeping them big, tall, sneaky, anti-tick boots.
There's anything you
Ticks
don't
are
want
bad.
ticks in your shoes.
The
I'm
worst.
covered in fur.
One of you might have to carry me. I do not want to get ticks.
Fur might be a problem.
Yeah, tall
we
grass
know
to a
how-
halfling is over
Yeah.
the head grass.
Yeah.
Do we know how long of a travel it is? Is it a day or a couple of days or half a day or?
Someone give me a survival check or a history check. That would work too. Whichever.
I have a 24 in survival.
24. Boom. Anyone else up around that number? So
No.
let's see. Mari. Sorry, as I'm still learning names.
I rolled a 10.
Mari tries.
It's accurate for...
10 is all you need. So
Okay.
you know that the description of Harker's Falls and the kind of the general area is like this big woody foresty region to the northeast of Waterdeep. It's up in the mountains a fair bit, and it's not distance-wise, it's not far as the crow flies, but because it's rather intense rocky terrain, it's going to probably take you about between 4 to 6 days to get up there, just because the roads stop after a certain point.
Right, we're roughing it.
Oh, how exciting.
Does anybody here have any horses or any mode of transport?
Or ponies.
I mean, if the road stops at some point, I don't know if we'll be able to take any mounts higher than that.
Yeah, and with their combined survival checks, yeah, you'd know that you definitely have to, unless like you're riding a billy goat or a
I mean, I'm 10 feet
I could
tall.
ride a billy
If you want
goat.
me to carry it, I'll carry it.
We're going to have to hoof it. And I look at the furbog and go, no offense.
Yeah, none taken.
Well, I guess we'd better get going then if we want to make some good time.
But just before we head out, would anybody, in terms of provisions, does anybody have any gnoll knowledge that we could use? Any sort of maybe thing that gnolls like or don't like that we could bring along?
I like the way you think.
From some of the stories I've read, and I think there used to be a gnoll infestation in the mines near my village, but they're sort of like dog-like people. But like the lovely lady said at the beginning, they're not all bad. So, I mean, I don't know if we can assume that they'll like or dislike anything in particular. I mean, we might be able to talk them out of it. I don't know.
Is anyone trained in religion?
Oh no.
No. Big fat zero from me.
Yeah, I've got
I got
negative
like
one
a
on that.
2. I got a 2, weirdly.
I'm spiritual, not religious.
Yeah.
All right, then give me a generalized religion check for everybody then. Ooh, where's a beefy one?
Oh,
mind.
18.
All right.
Oh, really?
Mari, you actually do remember. You remember that Marley said something about demonic worship, and you know that gnolls and demonic worship do get tied together when they worship the demonic god Yinagu, which is kind of like the demon god of gnolls.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And it's usually about kind of like corrupting the land in the area and stuff like that. And it's they usually operate. Yinagu usually operates underground for the most part, and kind of has like this like kind of like soul corruption area, and they just kind of like spread it out so no one notices what's happening.
Okay. Yeah, so these guys are pretty insidious, it feels like. So I don't think we're going to be talking anybody out of much.
I've got an idea.
Okay, we could just smash them. It's fine. We'll just go take care of it.
Exciting.
I'm all here to smash things. But I go over to the bar. I go over to the bar and I slam my fist down and I ask, I demand, give me your stinkiest cheese. Just the smelliest thing and the most rotten scraps you got, I will take them.
You see a glass kind of like hovering in the air just gets put down, and then from underneath you hear kind of like this clinking, unwrapping. You see like this brown waxy paper with like this kind of like bowstring above it with twine unfurls on its own, and then it kind of unfolds, and you see like this white grayish with kind of like this green thick crust around it. And as soon as it hits down, oh, that's the good stuff they keep under the counter for you. Is it edible? We don't know, but it's stinky cheese nonetheless.
This'll do. It smells like my like a crew that's been salted and pickled for 12 straight weeks.
Oh my god. Whose feet died and crawled up someone else's arse? Oh my god.
You see
Why?
You see a half-elf bartender poke his head around the corner. It's like, oh man, who's getting the stinky cheese out? Also, that's going to be like 10 silver, because that's like, you pay for the stink, you don't pay for the flavor, because
I will not be paying for that.
Personally, I love this stuff, but and I like reach back and I take out 10 silver. I put it down and I take the cheese. I wrap it back up and I place it back in my pack.
You see the stack of coins get lifted up and then put into a safety box behind the bar. He's like, good, get rid of that stuff.
Make sure you walk behind all of us. You're last.
Yeah. Stay away. There's no stealth in this cheese.
I stay downwind, please. Should we hand out healing potions? Like one person carry one and one person carry another, just in case? Right, we've got two.
Do you want to carry one?
Sure, I'll take one.
Okay, and the healing potions are, I always get this backwards, it's either 4d4 plus 2 or 2d4 plus 4.
I think it's 2d4 plus 4, but now you've mixed me up.
No, that's the dyslexic part of me. It's going like, I know I'm going to get it backwards, so I'm checking it out just to be sure. 2d4 plus 2, sorry.
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Can you use healing word on yourself, or can you only use it on other people?
You can use it on anybody you wish. Except for undead and constructs.
Cool.
So if someone gets turned into a robot, you can't heal them anymore. That's a tinkering check. All right, so you have your quest. You have some information and knowledge about gnolls and the location of where you're supposed to go. What do you wish to do next?
Pack up and head out, right?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Let's get some gold.
All right, so you pack up together and you begin the trek through the northern part of Waterdeep, which is known as a trade ward. You exit through the north gate through the Tarek Collapsed Coliseum, which is once home to a famous and wonderful epic show about Tiamat and her resurrection. And the show was actually more dangerous for the audience, and eventually the amphitheater just collapsed in on itself, and no one's really wanted to pay for the cleanup. But for all the bards out there, the acoustics were good. Even in the ruins, the acoustics were still good. And you make your way up through Waterdeep, and as you exit the the city, it's mostly rolling hills and farmlands and whatnot, but you can definitely see the outline of trees and hills and mountains in the horizon, and so you can automatically see where you're going to go. We'll say you go about 3 days of easy travel, just following roads and signs. It's not that hard. You're able to stay at inns along the road. I believe you have enough bards in the group to just let yourself stay for free at the various locations. So the first couple of days, very easy travel. And then you come up to a literal marker in this road that with a small sign written in common that says Road's End. And you can see the rough grassy terrain, the rough forest floor terrain, as the trees start getting larger and larger and larger in height and diameter, as you definitely see hard granite and rock sticking through the soil in the ground. It was probably a wise decision not to bring horses, because this looks like it's going to be a foot trek all upon its own. So
yes.
I look up expectantly.
Oh yeah, that first step is just a basic step for some people, but for you, Mari, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to do some rock climbing already.
Some calisthenics. What? Yeah.
So I will need somebody to take the lead and give me a survival roll. If someone else has proficiency in survival,
I do. And Ranger Girl is like all about it.
So you can either pick one person to roll with advantage, or pick two people to roll a single dice or single roll. Your choice.
I only have a 1 in survival, so I would volunteer Whitney for rolling with advantage.
I volunteer Whitney.
Okay, let's see. Roll 1, survival. We have 24 again. Roll again. We have 6.
Nice.
I'll take the 24.
All right, let me reference my good side of the chart. Whitney, could you roll me a D10, please?
Sure. That is this guy. 10.
Okay. Let's do that then.
Nothing happens. It's perfect.
I'm happy to be out of the city.
So you are definitely in your element here. You make your way up, and you can just by looking at the lay of the land and the slanting of the trees, you can already just your Furbolg ears already picking up like a close water source. And you know that if something's called Harker's Falls, there's probably a waterfall involved, and you just figure find the closest stream, go upriver, it'll eventually connect to something bigger. And you get led that way. As you find your way very easily, Furbolgs are naturally big by size, but the way they're just gracefully hopping over rocks and around trees, it's like watching American Ninja Warrior with someone who's done this many times before. There is no effort to her strides, as she's just, it looks like things that you would have to hop and leap over. She just glides right over them, almost as if she was floating on air. And you see her stop every now and then, like, oh, stop. And she points out, and you can see like a mama grizzly bear with a couple of cubs going by and just giving its distance. It is springtime, so mama bear defenses are in full effect right now. But as you come along, you actually do start to hear a buzzing and a humming as you come across, and you do see that in this big centuries-old maple tree is kind of just this ripped-out divot, and you can see what appears to be a beehive, very active. And anyone with Arcana, give me an Arcana check, please.
I once again have negatives, like 1.
I have a 2.
So.
0.
The basic 10 is all you need.
I mean, I can try.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with trying.
Oh, what? How?
Oh, natural 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
Liza.
All right, Liza. You are in tune with these bees. There's something about these bees that is just sticking out to you. And that's when it clicks in. The reason why you're noticing these bees so well from far off a distance is that each individual honeybee has a glowing gold sheen to them.
Oh.
And as you look at the hive, it's kind of got like that oblong shape. It's got like that rich golden brown hue to it, and there is a shimmer and like a glow of gold that's coming off of that beehive as well. You can't quite put your hand on it. You think it's probably some type of nature magic, and like the bees have tapped into something here, but those are some magical bees, and that is a magical beehive right there.
Okay, I say, wait, because we were sort of going on, because I'm still in the back with my stinky cheese. If the pirate knows anything, it's gold, and I think over there I just spotted something a little shiny from those bees, and I think we should check it out. I think it's worth investigating. And I point them out. Do you see how they glint, and do you see how they glimmer? I think they're protecting something.
Yeah, they're shiny.
That's
What of
shiny.
it?
Ooh, shiny bees.
I want to touch them. Can I touch them?
You'd have to get closer and make either a dexterity acrobatics or an animal handling check, but yeah, you can absolutely try if you want to.
Do I have... I have dexterity. Oh, I have acrobatics.
That is a 9. Ooh.
Damn it. Ow!
You see Mari try to reach up, and she actually grabs a hold of the honeybee, and then you see this bee go from gold to crimson red and almost like explodes out in a blood-like essence. And it's not the bee that sting you, but the magical aura kind of like makes the red turns black and jabs you right in the thumb. Please give me a constitution check, Mari. Constitution save, sorry, please.
Okay, how do you... The save is... do you just click it here?
Yeah, you just click
Is
on the
that
save.
the right
Yeah, perfect. 15, you make it.
Yes!
You
Oh,
fight
fucker.
you fight off the poison effect, and you've been stung by bees before. There is something
Ouchie.
potent about that poison sting.
Oh,
It
fucker.
seems to, as soon as it's let go and it flies back with its height, it turns back into that glowing gold color. You lose track of where it is, but you feel like you've avoided something rather heinous there.
Guys, don't touch them.
Maybe we should leave it.
Am I able to sort of perceive a little closer as to what, like, can I tell what it is, or am I just like, those are still bees?
You know they're magical in nature by some aspect. You'd have to get closer to investigate it further. I'd say you're about 30 feet out from it right now. And because they've now been slightly agitated, you would require either an animal handling check or a stealth check, depending on how you want to do it. Do you want to like...
I have an idea. Can I try something before you go?
Sure.
And I cast sleep on the bees.
Oh,
So-
yeah. You don't even need to roll because the hit points on bees are super low. It just
But I was
happens.
banking on.
So describe your sleep spell on this hive of bees.
So I pull out my pan flute and I play a little tune, like a real soft sort of low humming that almost matches the buzz of the bees. And as it does, it sort of lulls them and they sort of all slow down and then just drop to the ground. And then I turn to you all and I go, don't step on any of them. If they take any damage, they'll wake up. So shh, the bees are sleeping.
And the sound of that
Daisy
humming,
is absolutely half asleep.
the sound of the humming also dies down. In fact, the forest sounds eerily quiet at this point.
Oh no, I put the whole place to sleep. Whoops.
So what do you wish to do with your sleeping bees?
So can we investigate the hive now? Was the gleam on the hive or on the bees?
Both. It was on both.
So can we investigate the hive a little bit closer?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Just tippy toe, like you
Tippy-toe.
won't noise won't wake them up, but like damage will. So just
Will it wake them up, or will it just kill the bee? Will the death of the bee alert the other sleeping bees, or will it just be a dead bee?
Elspeth thinks that if you wake one up, you might wake all of them up.
That sounds like what would happen.
So how do you wish to proceed?
If am I able to make an animal handling check still, or is that gone because these bees are asleep?
I mean, you can. You'd be with advantage. They are asleep though. Like you can pretty much do whatever you want, unless like you want to like sing a lullaby to the bees.
I want to go investigate that hive, but without waking these bees.
Oh, they're because of the sleep spell. You can, as long as you don't like physically shake a bee or crush it in your hand or damage it, you're not gonna. Elspeth is sure of her magic, and her skill is right up there. These bees are asleep for at least 24 hours.
All right, these are some sleeping bees. Okay,
Stinky cheese, sleepy bees.
Well, that's a shanty for later. I tiptoe on over
now.
over to the hive.
All right, you approach up, and it's kind of, your senses are kind of conflicting what your brain is expecting. It's expecting like inside of a tree, some rot, some decay. But as you approach, it smells like freshly cooked graham crackers.
Well, that's nice.
We've found them, guys, the Keebler elves. We've done it.
The bees were the elves the entire time. Just like 3 days later, some elves are like, "Hey, where's our hive? We got some cookies."
Are we in the tree?
You're up at the tree right now, looking into the hole in the trunk, and it's this glowing kind of brown misshapen mass of beehive in the middle.
Oh, is
like
it a whole
thing?
It's kind of like a football size inside the hole of the tree. Think kind of like Winnie the Pooh type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any honey coming out of it, or is it just the?
It seems perfect. It seems perfectly sealed. You'd have to crack it open to see if there's anything inside.
Oh.
I take a knife from my belt, and I start to just sort of pry it open.
As you pry
I take 3 steps back.
Two things happen when you
I hide behind you.
when you put the knife in. One is you see this golden ambrosia-like liquid come spilling out, and the second is it smells like fresh baked gingerbread cookies as soon as you cut into it. And as you open up the hive,
well, that's nice.
The honeycombs on the inside kind of have like that technicolor prismatic just kind of sheen to it. You see like these yellows and reds and purples and blues and greens and yellows, so they all just kind of like swirl around the honeycomb at the same time, and they are just oozing out like this thick, gloopy golden.
Does anybody have any glass vials or something to keep it in?
I've got a boot, my boot, but then I don't have a boot to wear.
I've got a water skin. I dump out all the water in my water skin.
Yeah, I can dump out mine as well.
Yeah, assuming we all have water skins, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're all dumping out a day's worth of water skin?
No, I'm keeping
I'm
all
gonna drink it.
We're right next to a river. We're following a river to a place called Falls.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm
fair.
not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink my water.
Water as well.
Yeah, so there's no skill check required, but it takes a bit because it's very thick and viscous, as that's kind of gloopy. But as you all manage to fill up one water skin full of like this unknown golden magical liquid, but you do notice that as you break apart the hive to get at the combs even more and more, that smell of gingerbread and baked cookies just gets stronger and stronger. I'll say, someone give me an investigation or a perception check, your choice.
Ooh.
I've got good perception.
Oh, I did not.
Got an 11. Ooh, 21. For
I was going to
Liza.
say 18, but yeah.
Oh, you always, for roll 20, you always go with the... Oh, 18, because you're not in roll 20, correct. Sorry, because Mario rolled an 11 and an 18. Sorry about that. So anyone who got 15 or higher, you take a look at the hive, and you kind of grab onto a little bit, and it feels exactly like fresh baked gingerbread.
Oh, I'm really hungry all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, it smells really good, but do you really want to eat it? You don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know. My parents always told me not to eat things that I find just out. But it smells
Is that a
so
problem with
good.
you usually?
Listen, I was a very adventurous child. I tried a lot of things. They weren't always good for me, but I mean, tell me this doesn't smell like heaven?
Everyone who
smells
gets
like
a whiff,
heaven.
it smells like the best gingerbread cookies you've ever smelled, and like still soft and fresh out of the oven. In fact, when you put your hands to it, still feels warm as well.
Oh my god, I can't help. I'm gonna take a wee,
Let's
just
do a
a
little what?
just a touch of the tongue, just a smidge.
It is the best tasting gingerbread. It is soft. It melts in your mouth right away. You're not sure, but the gingerbread dough actually turns into chocolate after a certain point, and then just fills your mouth up full of flavor. You feel so enriched and infused by this wonderful taste and magic. I'm going to need both Mari and Lisa to give me a charisma save, please.
God. Charisma save, that's worth it.
23.
You make your save. Mari, unfortunately, you feel this magical effect come over you.
Oh.
You feel a great sense of guilt and despair that, what did you do? What did you do to this hive? That's not right.
God.
These bees were just trying to do their job. You
Guys, we
immediately,
killed them.
you immediately
They're
feel
just sleeping.
you should return this golden liquid, and like, you have no business taking this stuff. This belongs to the bees. What are you doing?
Guys, we have to put them back. We have to put them back.
But
I don't think I want to do that.
This is terrible. We have to put them back. I hate this. I hate everything. We've destroyed their home.
no, bees,
They'll make a new one.
right? They're just sleeping. We didn't kill them all. They'll just make more. It's all right.
I'm gonna go and pick one up and try to put it back.
Oh,
my
no.
god.
You put it back
Wait,
in the
a
hive,
bee?
and you notice when you put the bee back on, it kind of like you put it on like the golden liquid, and it kind of just slides out again. You lift it up one more time, and you put it back in, and you're kind of like the cookie hive kind of crumbles away, and you're struggling to try and put this bee back in its hive. As
What do we do?
I think we have to go. Mari, we have to go. It's okay. They'll be fine. We'll just leave them. They'll wake up in a little bit. It's all right. We'll just go. It's fine. They'll be fine. Mari, come on. Come on. Let's go. You want some what? Oh, no. Gravity.
They drag me away, kicking and screaming.
Ah,
No!
my honeybee friends!
No!
If anyone wants to do an arcana check on the honey liquid you have, please do so.
I have it too.
Higher is better. Oh, that's a 1. That's a
I feel
6.
absolute provisions are provisions. If it tastes good, we're taking
I
it.
rolled a nat 20.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, Elspeth, I'm saying that correctly, right?
Elspeth. But everyone back home called me Els Bells, or just Bells.
Bells.
Oh, that's
I'll
cute.
go with Bells. Oh, we got a kitten on the screen. Hooray.
I'm not happy.
Bells, you take some time and you go through you've heard some stories about these bees before. These are called golden honeybees, and they are of a special breed of bee that they harvest pollen only from plants and flowers that are deeply attached to ley lines, which is like a ley line is a big font of magic, and that the honey they produce is actually almost intoxicating and very healing, that much like a healing potion, that if you consume one water skin of your golden honey liquid, you'll be able to heal for 3d8 healing.
Oh, I'm so glad we took a water skin.
So how many did we get? Who all took it?
Everybody.
Mari put hers back, right?
Yeah, right.
No, I didn't put mine back.
Oh, you just tried to pick the
I
bee
just
up.
tried to put the bee back.
Daisy was half asleep and she did not participate.
And for future reference, I do the critical role rules for potions, where if it's to yourself, it's a bonus action. If
Great.
it's to somebody else, that's an action.
Cool.
Perfect.
It's more fun that way. All right. So that was, I was like, the bee encounter seems like it's going to be fun and weird. I hope no one rolls a 10, and then bam.
Wait, quick question. Did we take some of the hive as well?
You can if you want, yeah.
Oh yeah, I stuffed some of that right in there.
I cried.
Right in there.
Yeah. And it feels
I take some of Mary's as well. I say, are you not gonna? Okay.
I hold on to it. It's my memories of them.
I'm just rubbing her back and being like,
It's okay. They're just sleeping. They're fine.
He stung me, but it's okay.
It's the price we paid.
Liza's just like jamming gingerbread in her mouth. Like, what?
Nice.
All right.
Food.
And it's very much like as time goes on and you continue on your journey, that gingerbread hive is not getting stale at all. It's staying rich, warm, and moist the entire way.
I'm actually hungry.
right?
All right, I will need another survival check, please.
What happened?
Daisy,
Oh, no.
wake up. It's time to go.
Ooh, I see a
The
15.
song was too strong.
Oh, I got 16. Yay, a high roll.
Get to go to the good list again. Daisy, please roll me a d10, please.
All right, here we go. 8.
All right. You continue the trek uphill. You go on for a couple more hours. You stick close to the river as you feel it's getting wider and wider and more powerful in breadth. As you see the trees begin to get thicker and the canopy starts getting higher and higher, and they go from like these regular sized oak and maple ash trees, and then all of a sudden there seems to be like you cross over a threshold and you go into this region of redwoods and sequoias and just canopies that get so high you can't see the tops of the trees anymore, and you've got that background forest hum of wildlife and nature and wind and the rustling around. It's actually quite calming and quite peaceful. Daisy, you do notice as you go walking along, you see a kind of like this purplish bluey carving in a tree. And it seems to be someone has carved a message into it. What languages do you speak?
Let's find out. She speaks Common, Elvish, Giant, Minotaur, and Sylvan.
Sylvan
wow.
is exactly what it's in. You recognize this as the language of the Fae.
Okay.
A fairy has carved this into the tree, and you can read it clearly. And it seems to be a warning sign. It says, "Beware the 3 sisters. One cannot die while the other 2 live."
Are any of you related?
I'm a halfling.
I was adopted, so I don't really know. I suppose it's possible.
This is a warning. None of you? Sisters? None of you?
No.
Orphan.
Do I know any like tales or songs or anything that might
Give me a
stir
your
a memory?
choice, history or a nature check, whichever one you'd prefer.
Neither one is good, so I'll just roll. I rolled a nat 1. Wow. 20-1. There you go.
Sisters are usually related.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Generally, they have the same mum, usually.
Right.
Most of the time. That's what I know.
Or the same dad.
Right. Good point.
Anyone else can make a roll if they wish as well.
What kind of roll?
History or nature, your choice. I'd even go as far as say Arcana. I don't think anyone's trained in Arcana, but you can roll Arcana if you want. I got a 12.
For all 2s.
No insight?
Unfortunately, actually, Yeah, I think you can make an argument for insight. 12 again.
Oh, there's an insight.
Daisy.
Hey,
It clicks in. This is from what you've seen so far, you get the feeling that this forest, these woods, magically enchanted. You've crossed up into a threshold that seems almost as going from night to day, where it goes from one type of tree to the other. And when someone starts issuing warnings on trees about sisters, your mind immediately thinks to one source that you've never encountered them directly, you don't think, but you get the feeling they're talking about forest hags, a coven of forest hags, forest witches.
Oh, good. Well, I tell this to everyone.
And your knowledge of forest hags, essentially, it's your classic, like, Hansel and Gretel. They will lie, deceive, and do everything to try and swallow your soul type of deal.
Oh, that's good. This is good. Let's get this all out of the way now.
But they are deal makers. They are deal
How
makers.
do we avoid them? Can we just stay real quiet and, like, tiptoe through? I don't want to meet a witch or a forest hag. That sounds terrifying.
Well, if one can't die while the other two live, we just gotta kill all of them.
Yeah. Before they kill us.
Exactly.
I mean, this honey's made me feel invincible, so sure, whatever. Let's just go.
Honey.
Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up. I'm sorry.
My be friends. Why can't we be friends?
Are we
Maybe
inspired?
we closer to the river to mask the sound of us coming.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good call.
I will say, give me your third survival check then. This time because you chose to go to the river with advantage.
Okay, here's survival. 16. And an 11. So 16.
Jesus Christ.
16.
Oh, wait, from all of us?
Just for the person who's taking the lead on...
Oh, good. No good.
All right. Whitney, please roll me another D10, the last one for the travel day today.
Here we go. 7.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm nervous now.
This is the good one, mind you. You begin to walk your way along the river's the side of the river, and the water actually gets a little rapidy, like kind of like white watery type in some parts. The rocks are slick. There's moss and algae where the sun doesn't get. It's getting a little bit dim and light as well, so the sun's not breaking through as much because the canopy's so thick. And then you kind of just hear that this plinking of string, like a lute or a guitar. It's like pring, like kind of like this little, like someone strumming away on like a harp or something like that. And then you look off to your left and just seems out of place completely, where you see this perfectly framed, these two large rows of sequoias, and they kind of like are in purpley shadows as they kind of just heave down like this beautiful laid path stones that kind of like wind and wheel to like this big open glade. And you can see this little house with like kind of like a straw thatch roof and a kind of like a metal stove pop pipe with kind of like some smoke going off the top of it. And you do notice that the material of this house looks like it starts off as wood, but then it kind of slowly morphs and evolves from like this beautiful yellows and blues into like these brackish greens and reds, as it looks like the last half of the house turns into like this wild fungus mushroom formation that kind of just like arches up towards the sky with like these little caps and bulbs just kind of sprouting out off all over the place. I will say, for people who have training in survival, give me a survival or nature check, please.
Guys, there's something in this honey that's really good.
Oh, yeah. 19, 13, 21. They're easy to recognize. Those red-brown mushrooms, those are death caps. Those are highly toxic and poisonous.
Yeah, don't put those in your mouth, guys.
Don't you put it in your mouth.
I'm never putting anything in my mouth ever again.
These are all in the house.
Ironically enough, the door's closed. You can't see into the windows too much, but it smells like gingerbread again.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
Listen, I've read a lot of stories about houses in woods that smell like candy, and it never ends well. Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, it didn't stop you from eating the honey.
Aye, but they were asleep, and we've just had a warning about like witches and things in the woods. I don't know. I just don't.
Probably not good.
I mean, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't know. I'll follow you guys wherever.
Huh.
We do need a place to sleep.
You do see the wooden door open up, and this woman comes out in kind of like this brown canvasy type of dress, this white apron on. She looks like she's in her early 20s, has this beautiful long Ariel type of red hair that goes down to her hips, and she's got like this stick, and she's been sweeping away, and just the most harmonious voice, like ah. And you see
Oh, never mind. She's gorgeous. Let's go. Hello.
Squirrels come down on her shoulders, and birds come fly at Twitter. She's oh my, yes, how wonderful. Well, come in. Welcome to my home.
I'm immediately suspicious.
Whoa.
Yeah, like I'm all in. I'm like, hello, how are you? This place is lovely. Did you make it yourself?
She's got lovely golden skin with like rosy cheeks and like this wonderful like just tooth filled mouth of smile. Disney would probably be calling right now for some IP infringement violations.
I love your singing. Have you heard about the bees?
Oh,
okay, let's just get a few things straight here. Nobody this goody two-shoes lives in a house that looks like this. Like,
I do. I love it out here.
There's things afoot.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, we're all 2 feet ahead of everyone.
I didn't ask for your jokes, lady.
It's like, oh, please, we've gotten off on the wrong. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wendy. This is my home. I live in this area, and I'm a witch. I look after this area and look after travelers and adventurers and whatnot.
Look after them
how?
Wendy, do you have any sisters?
Oh yes, I've got 2 very evil sisters.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Right?
Well, it's been nice. I think we should go.
I turn to everyone and I'm like, but remember the gnolls. They're not all bad. That might be true about the witches too.
It is.
We can't make assumptions.
I've gone through my entire life of learning you can't choose who you're related to, but you can choose your family. And unfortunately, my relatives are unsavory of Murata and Brew, 2 very unpleasant hags, as it were.
And you're a pleasant?
I hope I'm pleasant. Would you like some tea, or would you like to sit down and rest a while?
What's in the tea?
She looks in, she goes, I believe some pine needles, some green leaf, and...
Una just reaches out and, like, slaps it out of her hand. She's like, no!
You hear
that was
the metal teapot just kind of clankers on the ground, and, like, the herbs kind of, like, spill out everywhere. So,
we don't know you, lady!
You don't have to
That
drink
was
it.
rude.
Okay. Well, you are just a little too trusting, Bells.
That's probably true. I'm very sorry, Wendy, but I don't think we can have any of your tea. We're very new out here, and we already drank some honey that didn't agree with all of us. So we'll probably just be on our way, but maybe if you could point us in the direction away from your sisters, we'd much appreciate it.
Oh, I wish I could, but unfortunately, their hovels kind of move around to avoid any adventuring parties, as it were. I would say the best way to avoid them is avoid thoughts of despair or languish or anger or sadness. They seem to be drawn to those types of emotions.
We all turn and look at Mari.
okay.
Right, happy thoughts.
They're just sleeping. They'll be fine.
I will say this. This is not a common forest. This is a very magically enchanted forest. Like, my mother was young when this forest was old. And I'm quite old.
Oh, you don't look a day over 20. That's brilliant.
It's just a glamour. Thank you. So sweet.
I'm
centuries old, though. I hate to admit
Wow. That's amazing.
I cross my arms and I still ask, how do we know that we can trust a single word that's coming out of your mouth right now?
She says, ultimately you can't, but I do offer shelter for those that need it or those that are trying to find their way. As much
my
as
legs are tired.
as much as my sisters seem to draw on despair and sadness and strife, just think of a happy thought, and maybe you'll find my path. You're more than welcome to leave once more. But I do offer shelter and solace here. I would advise don't eat the mushrooms, though. Those keep the bigger nasties away.
My legs are little and sore, so...
Oh yes, there are things in this forest that are far bigger and more dangerous than I am.
I don't know. I'm with Liza.
I don't know. We need a place to stay. It's getting late.
It is getting late.
This is just as safe or dangerous as the rest of the forest, in my opinion.
Okay. I just don't think I can walk anymore.
We can do it like this. We'll sleep in shifts. And that way, some of us can keep watch while the others rest. And then we can keep an eye on you, Wendy, and anything else that might be here in this forest. Just in case.
She says, oh, sure, certainly. My area is your area. So you can sleep inside if you wish. You can sleep outside. I do like to warn you, I don't sleep, and some people get perturbed by that.
Knocking off some points, Wendy. You're knocking off some points.
Whichever is more comfortable for you, I will do it.
Well, if we sleep in shifts and we're all on our guard, even while we're sleeping, we should be fine.
Right. On my guard. Yep.
I don't believe you, but okay.
All right, who wants to take... first of all, are you going to be sleeping inside Wendy's house, or are you going to be sleeping outside in the field?
I want to sleep in the house. I
want
want
to sleep
see
in the
what it
house.
looks like inside. Let's do it.
Yeah. Nice.
I'd like to go inside first to see
She said,
what's up.
Sure. I try to make things homely for humanoid beings. I've read about what you enjoy and like, so I've tried to make it very homely, very comfortable. As you see, she kind of like waves her hand to the door, and the door opens on its own, and you hear kind of like that, like stringing harp music come harmoniously out as you come inside. And it's like very low ceilings, big, thick, old wood columns in there, and there seems kind of like up down the like little like communal pit area where there's like a fire and couches, and there's a kettle, or sorry, like a cauldron in the middle that's kind of like boiling up. She's like, don't mind that. I'm just doing some laundry. She moves her stick around and pulls up like some socks and some dresses and whatnot.
Can Daisy fit in this house?
I was just thinking the same thing.
You are definitely hunched over. It is built for someone in like the 5'6", 5'8" height range. You are.
Oh, it's still rather large to me.
Yeah. You are definitely the tall person in the basement, kind of hand up on the ceiling type of. But as you put it, everything feels warm, and like there's like this soft moss. It feels almost like carpeting on the top of the roof.
When was the last time you cleaned in here?
I was told this is a, and she does the air quotes, homely approach.
Oh.
I think it's real cozy. I love it. I love what you've done with the place.
Oh, thank you. It means so much. I work so hard, and humanoids are so hard to understand sometimes.
It's a little disturbing when you call us all humanoids. I will give you that point. But other than that, bang on, doing great.
Was there anything you'd like for dinner? I can make just about anything for you.
Oh.
Well, what smells so heavenly?
She says, actually, that's just an illusion, and it channels into your subconscious of the thing you secretly desire the most.
Oh. Amazing. It just changed because I thought of something different that I wanted to eat. Wow. All I smell is potatoes now?
Oh.
Can you smell that?
Now I smell potatoes and garlic.
Butter and garlic and like cheese melted on top. Not your cheese, Liza.
I can do some mashed potatoes. I can do some baked potatoes. I can do some broiled potatoes. I can do a potato salad, a potato soup.
Could you mash them, put them in a stew?
You got to be careful.
Potatoes.
You must be careful about the potato soup, though. It does leak a little bit because there's a leak inside of it.
Yeah.
Elspeth writes that one down.
Potatoes with a big stew poured over top. Like, Daisy, wait, is anybody vegetarian?
No.
I like
Meat.
meat.
More meat, the better.
Right? Big meat stew poured over mashed potatoes. Let's go.
All right. You see Wendy clap her hands, and you see the pots and cooking utensils begin to fly up magically and operate on their own, as if not being held by invisible people, but moving locomotion on their own. So you see the potatoes like come out, start hopping along as they spin around. Potato appears and all their skins go flying off, and these big mallets come down and start mashing them on top of the table, and they all get started up. Big musical number.
Elspeth's eyes are as big as saucers. I would also like to find out where that strumming music is coming from, though. Can I see or hear?
Oh, it's easy to see. You see a harp and a lute just kind of floating in the air, just playing themselves.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna pull out my pan flute and like try and match the tune a little bit, just softly, just while I'm appreciating everything.
Give me a performance check.
Ooh! Oh no! I'm gonna beat it.
Una's like looking around suspiciously, but like now she's intrigued by the bard stuff, so she's like half kind of like panicked and like watching the witch out of one eye and then trying to like watch Elspeth and the musical instruments out of the other eye. Like she's really torn right now.
It's a 16.
16? Perfect.
Yeah.
You actually see Elspeth was kind of conducting the cooking, and she looks over and notices your tune, and she says, "Oh," and then kind of reaches over and picks up a very classical guitar and then starts jamming away with you. She kind of puts her foot up on what you think like would be like a foot stand or something, but it's just there in the air and looks like it's perfectly solid as she just stands there. And you guys have an excellent jam session, providing the musical background to these
dancing potatoes.
The dancing potatoes.
Are there more instruments lying about?
We'll say yes. What instruments would you like?
I would like an accordion if there is one, and I notice Una's like anxiety, and I pick up the nearest instrument and I hand it to her as well, and I sort of start jigging along and then sort of.
Give me a performance check, Liza.
Oh no.
Oh. You didn't find an accordion?
I'm hoping that my performance like gives confidence to Una though, and
It
that,
does.
I'm like, go for it, just go for it, follow your dreams.
It's like going to karaoke at a dive bar and everyone else is bad too.
Yes, perfect analogy. For Wendy and Eliza or Elspeth, you look over and you're like, oh, okay. I mean, you tried.
You're doing great.
Can Una like have a triangle or something? Like
Absolutely, yes.
like Liza's given her a triangle. All right.
Is the triangle in rhythm and key, or is it like?
Oh, whoa!
Whoa! It is in rhythm. It is the perfect.
Oh my
rhythm,
God.
Una.
This is not like
You get a triangle solo.
So I got a 21, and that doesn't really play into Una being the worst at it. But I guess like the triangle is relatively like less pressure than.
Una, you actually feel a physical spotlight show up on you. Describe how amongst this potato menagerie of magical feasting, these two musicians, Liza honking away on her accordion. What does an Una triangle solo look like?
Una's just kind of like looking up and just kind of like dazed. Like, it's not charismatic where like she's looking, you know, wonderfully majestic as she plays this triangle. She kind of looks like a big dummy as she's just like, oh, like, it's working. I'm making music. Like, she's like really excited about the fact that there's real sound coming from this that doesn't sound like, you know, nails on a chalkboard. Like,
I feel like it's like we all play the tune like doodle doodle doo, and then it stops and you go ding, and then we go doodle doodle ding ding, and then as the song progresses, you're just going like you gain more and more confidence, and we're all like, yes.
Well, as you
the triangle's my instrument.
As you go into the night, the potato feast is absolutely delicious. Some of the best eating you've had on the road in quite some time. The music and revelry goes into the night. Wendy shares some stories about her adventures as a young witch in the forest trying to make it out on her own, and tells stories of wendigos and spirits and various other nasties in the forest, demons and devils that romp around at night. And she says, "Oh, and you must watch out for the faceless one."
Oh, jeez.
Always one of those.
What's that?
What's that?
What's that about?
It is one of the reasons why this forest is here, is to keep it contained.
And
We
it
should get out
doesn't
of
have
the
a face.
Go on.
It's so old that we don't know what it looks like, but its evil is still here in the forest. Its machinations of it, or apparitions of it, pop up every now and then. But when you see a large 12-foot shadowy hulking transparent creature with two eyes that glow gold with fire, run the other way. It only comes out at night,
Elspeth
though.
is terrified, like a blanket pulled up around her face. Like,
I think I want to go back to the city.
You want to see the eyes first before you see
What
the rest
does
of
it
it.
do if it catches you?
She looks at you and says, "I was so jovial and jubilant tonight, but terrible things. It'll plague your soul. It'll give you a curse until you die. It is one of the most awful and horrific ways I've seen a being to pass away, where your soul is literally fed into this unending hunger of a spirit, of a demon."
Well, that doesn't sound fun. Can we go back home?
Yeah.
I take a sip of honey to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
It feels
Get emotional
very
again.
soothing and very relaxing, as Wendy says, "But enough of boogeyman in the night. Let's enjoy the celebration. You have a long journey ahead of you tomorrow morning, and just thank you for the guests and company. It's been a while since I've found adventurers who are willing to talk and participate and share their adventures and skills of the world."
Thank
You've
you
been a
so much
lovely
for your
host.
hospitality.
Sorry. I turn to Una and Liza and I'm like,
See, sometimes it pays to trust people.
I growl.
We haven't made it through the night.
You see that little center pit where the couches are, kind of like all unfurled magically, and like these big, cottony, big, floofy pillows and beds, and it's one of those. As soon as you touch, it's the thread count is infinite. It just feels like sleep once you touch your hand to it.
Daisy, I don't want to be rude. Is your fur really soft? Can I?
Here.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
sure?
Just go ahead.
It's so soft.
I guess so.
It looks like fresh fallen snow. I love it.
Appreciate the hospitality, and I'm gonna go take first watch. And I sort of hunker off a little bit.
All right, first watch. I'll just go through the night and go around the circle then as everyone takes their watch. So, Liza, you see Wendy say, "I don't want to alarm you, but there are some ingredients I can only collect at night. so I will have to go out for a little bit. I'll be back later on and closer to sunrise more than anything. But if you have any concerns, just yell really loud, and I'll come back as quick as possible.
Okay. And I'm like, the points, Wendy. You're losing them.
Well, we haven't established what game we're playing, so maybe I'm also winning. I'll be back. Would you want to
I like
breakfast
this
in the
Wendy.
morning? Any specialties? Omelet, continental breakfast, a bagel, a sticky bun.
Oh, sticky buns.
I grunt, but like under my breath, I say, "Sticky bun."
Sticky buns. Now, important question. Regular frosting or enchanted frosting?
Enchanted on mine, please. Please, enchanted right here. Yes, thank you. One.
What's enchanted about it? What have you done to it?
Well, I can't reveal all the secrets, but I'll be back closer to sunrise if you want enchanted frosting.
Sure.
I'm intrigued.
You see her wave her hand and the door opens and it's kind of like, la, as she floats outside the door and it closes behind her.
I shake my head. I'm like, mm-mm.
You actually hear her carrying the note until it just kind of fades off.
Elspeth is just floating. This is the best day of her life. Like, adventure-wise, this is the best thing that could have... she never even could have imagined this.
Daisy definitely gives her an arm. She's like, here you go. You can hold it like a teddy bear.
I literally curl up around it.
All right, Liza, give me a perception check for your first round of watch. Whoa!
Yo, I see all.
Are perceiving.
25.
Natural 25. Woo!
Holy crap.
Liza, you see this adorable scene of bonding and friendship and bedding down for the night, and then you just feel something just kind of like just washes right over your soul. It's been like a nice, cool, warm, escape the spring chill in this hut, and then all of a sudden just it feels like something reaches out and just grabs your spine and just cold radiates out from it. And off in the distance outside the window you just hear kind of this boom, boom, boom.
Oh no.
As you hear these big, massive, like the grass and the soil is giving away under these gigantic footsteps. Do you choose to look out the window or not?
Oh, I'm inside. I thought I was outside. Is the window currently open?
It is open, yes.
Am I able to sort of get a gauge of whether or not that is a good idea? Based on the story we just...
That is your own personal care to detail or interaction with danger that you choose to take.
Based off of sort of the story we were told earlier, I go up to the window and I shut it quite quickly. Is anybody asleep, by the way, or are some people still awake?
I think everyone was getting like in bed and getting like that kind of like just starting to sleep off, but I think they would notice that you get up, close the window, and then they start hearing like the thump, thump.
Yeah, I shut the window and any other windows that are nearby.
I bury my face in Daisy's arm. I'm like, this is the faceless one.
You do hear it get closer, and you actually notice that the cups and plates begin to kind of vibrate Jurassic Park styles as something gets closer. And it sounds like it's maybe about 10 feet outside the window as you hear like one final like boom.
Maybe it'll eat the mushrooms.
And then you just hear this terrible wail of and then just dead silence.
I hush and like I'm like poised with my hand on my sword.
My hands are on my daggers,
and I'm like,
you don't hear anything. All the vibrations in the house have stopped. The house sounds almost dead silent, and you hear no more thumpings outside. And you stay that way for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and there is no sound whatsoever.
Elspeth has fallen back asleep.
I don't love that.
I don't love silence.
Is it like eerily silent, or is it like regular silent?
There's no background silence. It's like you're in one of those soundproof rooms of just your ears are kind of popping out like there's nothing.
Oh yeah, I don't like that. Mm-mm. No room tone.
I stay alert because there's nothing else that I think can be possibly done in this situation.
You stay alert. Does anyone want to take over the next watch? We'll say for like another hour or so.
I mean, I'll watch.
Or are you
I'm
all
fairly small.
I missed a little bit of it, but I can definitely. Una can jump in and take part of the watch.
Right. We'll say after about an hour of that ambient background, that stuff you started to miss, like forest sounds, house creaking sounds, comes back as normal hearing returns to the area. Una, give me a perception check, please.
Oh no. Oh, I have some perception.
Yeah,
but I'm jinxing it now.
Ooh.
Oh, nope, I jinxed it.
I think you're a little preoccupied on the sound coming back that you're not really paying attention to the goings around, but nothing of note. You see a half elf and a furball cuddled up, kind of like teddy beared around the arm of your ranger. Liza, I believe, has some concern on her face of being the first one to be on the watch for this. But does anyone want to take the third watch?
I'll take the third watch. I have perception.
And I'm going to go, is there a fireplace?
Yes, in the middle, yes.
I go over and I nestle in and I go to sleep.
Yeah. And when the sound comes back, your warmth starts coming back as well.
The what?
When the sound comes back, that inner warmth, because you start feeling cold at your core, the warmth starts to crawl back in as well. All right, Mari, give me a perception check, please. Ooh, 17. You hear the nighttime life, the nocturnal life of the surrounding area come open again, and your halfling curiosity gets the best of you.
Of course, it always does.
You walk up and you just kind of like crawl over the kitchen counter and just kind of like creak that window open a little bit. And that's when you see 2 divots in the ground, almost like 2 circular poles were standing there, but the grass has gone black.
Oh my God.
Kind of like that faded area. And as you look back, you can see a trail of it going back into the forest. And then it looks like it went right across the front yard of Wendy's hut and then disappeared back into the forest again. But those 2 black spots looks like it had been standing there a while. You do notice that there's some growth. The forest is trying to like take the green back and put some color back into it. But you wouldn't have noticed it if it wasn't for those 2 distinct black spots that wherever it was standing, the longer it stood there, the more of a mark it left.
Like how long ago were those marks? Like can I tell how old they are or?
Probably about 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, okay, so that's fairly recent. Okay.
They definitely were there when you came in.
When we came in, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and slam the window back shut again. Is anybody else awake?
Well, another watch is coming up, so you get to choose who does another round of keeping watch for the night.
Okay. Who hasn't kept watch yet? Okay, we've got a ranger. You know what? I trust the ranger to watch the forest, so I'm going to wake up the ranger.
It's fair.
Sorry, Elspeth.
Daisy, please give me a perception check, please. All right. It's hard to actually be mobile. Your height lets you see out the window, so you've got like a good field of view outside the window, but you do have a bard on your arm, so mobility isn't exactly.
I guess you're both keeping watch after all.
When she tries to move.
You see, Mari told you about like the footprints. You obviously can't see them because you can't see down past the windowsill. You believe
Right.
but your watch is pretty much, you don't see anything moving around in the forest. And for what you've been through already, that's good enough for you.
Okay.
All right, the last one. Do you wish to Elspeth to take over of the watch, or are you going to hand it off to somebody else? This is the last one for the night.
No, I'll lift her up on my arm and be like, your turn. But
Oh, the cookies aren't ready yet. Oh, okay.
your turn. It's your turn.
Okay.
I'm going to need the arm back, though.
Oh, yeah, sorry, of course, right.
Just for a minute.
Okay.
So perception?
Perception, yes, please.
17 for those who are doubting me.
17. So how do you spend your watch of the night? Are you looking out windows? Are you looking over people?
I'll probably be sort of, I'm a little bit of a, like, curious snoop, so I might look around the kitchen a little bit, but I'll mostly be sort of peeking up at the ledge of the window, sort of, I'm more looking out for Wendy coming back. That's what I'm excited about. So that's what I'm looking for.
You do a bit of snooping. You go through like her cutlery, her cooking utensils. You pull open one drawer and you see Neg be like, "Hey, I'm sleeping here." Ka-chunk, and the drawer closes shut.
Sorry.
You look outside. You can't see any of the footprints Mari was talking about.
Weird.
It's like she made up the story completely. But you do hear off in the distance. Almost ghost like Wendy comes floating over. She's got a big full harvest basket full of what looks like cinnamon sticks and reeds of vanilla and some thyme and some spices. And you do notice that the vanilla has like a golden hue around it as well, as the door kind of like slowly opens up. She doesn't want to wake anybody up. She's like, you're up. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to wake you.
No, it's okay. I was up already. It was my turn to watch.
I'm so excited you're back home. I literally jump on everybody like a kid at Christmas. I'm like, she's home. Wake up. It's breakfast time. Let's go. Let's go to the magic show again. Good morning.
I wake up, dagger in hand. Oh.
Yeah, me too.
You see the drawer pop in? I'm still sleeping here. And the drawer closes again. The egg beater's always unruly. You do that was about 5 a.m, so you got your 8 hours sleep. So I don't think anyone's spent or rest anything. Marley, your charm effect is now gone. You no longer feel any sympathy for these bees or any attachment to these.
Oh, good. Fuck the bees. All right, breakfast time. Let's do this.
And you see Wendy say, "Well, it's going to have to be without an egg beater, but I think we can start already." As you see her raise her hands and like the fires and the lights in the cabin illuminate as this again magical musical number comes up, and she starts cooking these beautiful cinnamon sticky buns with the enchanted frosting. And as the buns come out of the oven, it just smells like good, wholesome warmth and joy. And as you bite into them, everyone who has a sticky bun, I will give you the benefit of one roll for the session, or one roll, or you can keep for other sessions. So one roll for the day, you can just take advantage on it. It doesn't matter what it is.
Oh,
We'll call a sticky bun special.
Sticky bun special.
As you see Wendy kind of float and hover over to Una, she says, "Una, you impressed me so much last night. I have a gift for you, and I hope you take it."
Okay. What is it?
It's this little square brown envelope with like a red twine string around it. It's like, it's not much, but I hope you accept it.
Una suspiciously takes it very slowly, just watching her and maintaining eye contact, and then snatches it away quickly. She doesn't want her to take it back.
She kind of does like Julia Roberts, pretty like, oh, okay, well, sure.
Thank you. Maybe.
You're very welcome. I hope you put good use to it. As you see her rosy cheeks just get a little bit more rosier as the joy just overcomes her.
And then Una kind of hunches over, turns away, and then
Elspeth is trying to jump over her shoulder. She's like,
what is it? Back up. It's for me. And she opens it and looks inside.
It is a blue steel triangle.
Oh,
Una gets a little bit happy and smirky, but then immediately is like, thank you. And keeps it in the envelope, but turns away and smiles again happily.
It is your first magical item. I will give you a write-up on it after the episode, but it does have special properties to it.
Oh,
sweet!
All right.
So excited.
So
Best witch ever!
Which witch was that?
You're the best witch I've ever met.
I know it's the pun I like. You say, so I've made you some snacks for the road. I hope everything's all right. I hope you don't mind. And it's these little kind of white bread, mayonnaise, and spinach sandwiches come out, but they're all cut into shape of witch hats. She's like, I made you sandwiches.
oh. I hug her.
I was gonna say, can I hug you, Wendy? Yeah. Can I give you a hug?
Oh yes, please. And it's like
group hug.
It's like hugging your grandma, your best friend, all at the same time. Just
it's like being back home.
She smells like pine nuts.
Oh, yeah. I hug her tight. She reminds me of home.
Yeah, you actually feel yourself magically lifted up, so it's all eye level and just a big group hug.
It's so considerate.
She says, and now remember, if any time you need me and you're in the forest, try to think of your happiest thought, and hopefully you'll find your way to me.
This might be the happiest thought.
But just so you know, now that I know about you, my sisters will know about you as well. We are all connected.
Oh, thank you. And this is me coming up you didn't want to tell us that before?
Well, we had such a good time with the potatoes and the triangle, and I didn't want to dampen the mood, but...
Liza, did you want to tell her?
Yeah, so while you were out, I happened to hear an incredibly loud noise and a shiver unlike any other, colder than the depths of the ocean.
You see her her attitude sullens a bit. She's like, the faceless one walks again tonight, or last night.
I just got goosebumps.
I saw some dark holes in the ground. Was that him too?
Oh, yes. He leaves a corruption wherever he walks, just kills any plant material he comes into contact with.
Oh my god, could you imagine if we had slept outside?
Oh, I was hoping you would stay inside. It's he's power enough to break through my wards, but I'm glad you made that decision then. The DM's also glad you did too, because he rolled really poorly on his bad thing dice.
I was seriously considering sleeping outside because she's so tall, but you made the bed sound so good.
That's amazing.
I just got to ask Wendy. So when you go out there at night, how do you avoid the faceless one? Because we're not always going to have the protection of your cozy home here, where we've got to go out there and continue along our path.
Well, there are things you can arm yourself with. The first off is these apparitions of the faceless one. They're always big, and they're also very slow. You can always outrun it, and I'm very fast. Secondly, it's not sentient. It is just an emotion, a status. It doesn't have the ability to think, have some foresight, plan anything. It kind of just exists and ambles randomly. So you can outsmart it. But if you ever come face to face with it, run away as fast as you can. Do not try to fight it. You will always see the eyes before you see its body.
Drive a hard bargain because I love a good fight.
It's maybe fight is the wrong word. Massacre is what it would be.
No.
Even my sisters don't entangle with the faceless one.
What did that sort of prophecy we came across mean?
Oh, I think of the things I will be secretive of. I think I will hold on to that the most.
All right, then. If we come
Wendy?
across your sisters, is there anything that we should or could say or do that might get us out of a bind with them?
Yeah, like Wendy sent us.
Give me a persuasion check.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Guess what? My persuasion is very good. But I rolled a 3, so that's 9.
9? She says, the best advice I can offer you is just don't engage in any deals or bargains with them. And if you see their huts, don't go near them. If they approach you, just simply say, you're not interested.
I'm not interested.
They're not aggressive hunters. They're passive stalkers. They will not actively seek you out, but if you fall into their trap, then you're on your own.
I'm no interested.
Elspeth is practicing. I'm no interested. I'm no interested.
What kind of traps do they set up? Just any kind of
metaphysical ones?
Forewarning. Okay.
They try and,
the usual.
They try and they will.
It's your everyday run of the mill.
They feed on souls. They use as a currency, as a material or resource, something to play around with, something to eat. So they'll probably offer infinite cosmic power for the cost of your soul.
Itty bitty living space.
Okay.
And they can guarantee you power supreme, but at a hefty, hefty cost. When the bill comes due, you lose it all. No afterlife, no chance of resurrection. You become theirs. And they are...
Well, I'd rather not.
Okay, so no deals, like zero deals.
We'll avoid them.
A little bit.
So do you share a mother? Do you share a father?
We share,
good question.
Seem like you'd be related.
We do share a mother. Father, I believe, suffered from the Black Widow effect and was consumed almost immediately afterwards. But I decided that's not the life I wanted. I wanted to use my magic and powers to help people in the forest and not be the normal hag that people perceive it to be. So I chose my own destiny. I am unfortunately forever linked to my sisters, but I try and fight the good fight. And this is so drab for morning. Let's wish you along your way. You're all capable adventurers, I see. You've made it this far in the forest with no troubles at all. I have high confidence.
None whatsoever.
We have some troubles.
Nope, no troubles at all. Absolutely fine.
Says, here are your lunches. Here's some leftovers from the potatoes last night. Please, if you ever need anything, try your best to find me in the forest again. I wish you good speed on your journeys.
I have one last question before we go, Wendy.
It's died. It's not natural. I'm sorry.
I have 2 questions, Wendy. You seen any gnolls these parts?
She said, funny enough, I have seen some gnolls. They live up further north, closer to the mountain. They have a couple of burrows and dens up there. They're very new to the area though. They've come in recently, maybe in the past year or so. They've been here. It's kind of a new appearance of them.
Would you be able to point us in the direction that you saw these gnolls? I mean, is it that mountain? They point.
Yes. If you know of the Harker Falls camping establishment, there may be about.
That's where we're headed.
Oh, okay. Then they're about 2 days west of that.
Perfect.
It's you can't mistake it. It's the terrain goes from rocky to like a forest floor with lots of holes, and it's essentially, if you've seen a prairie dog, they're very large prairie dog holes into the ground, like little burrows. They just dig.
Wendy, you have been an absolute beacon of hope in this forest and on this journey for us, and I just want to say thank you, and I'm going to write a very long stanza in the song that I compose about this whole adventure, so I really appreciate you and your potatoes.
It's like, oh, that is so kind of you. Thank you so much for being such wonderful guests. I'm sorry you had that encounter with the faceless one outside. I have no control over that, but wherever you go, and wherever you are, just remember, you are all wonderful in your own special way.
Is there anything we can do for you to say thank you?
Play it forward. Treat others with compassion.
I know I had my suspicions about you, but you're all right, Wendy. You got some points.
Una nods along and then kind of heavily pats her on the shoulder, like it's meant to be affectionate, but it's maybe a little bit aggressive. But
Una, as you pat her on the shoulder, she's levitating off the ground. It's like you hit a brick wall. She doesn't move, and she's a very solid person as you plant her on top.
I bet you've got a firm handshake too.
It's like, I've got a firmer hug.
Well, that's too far, I think, but you're all right, lady.
All right. Actually, I'm looking at my clock, and it is 1:55. Do you wish to call the first session there as you head out of Wendy's hut for the day? You are literally, I think that makes sense. You are literally the next encounter would be Harker's Falls, so you are right on the doorstep.
I think that's a good place to leave it. Yeah,
I agree.
Good job, everybody. And because of all your RP adventuring, you are now level 2.
Yay! Cool.
The Diecast podcast was produced by Miles Baker, Stephanie Cook, and Johnny Robertson. Music provided by Sirenscape.com.